Hello everyone, it's Adam and Larissa from Going Overland. We're going to go through how we planned our trip and the process that we went through, the time that we went through to do it, and who did more of the planning,
Oh,
and who got angry at the person not helping plan. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah. So we'll just talk through some of the things that we've did to plan this trip out. Why I think it's important you should plan a trip like this, and why, sometimes just winging it, why that's not the best idea sometimes.
Yeah.
So a lot of people would think I'm crazy planning out 6 months in advance, but a plan doesn't have to work, but it's always good to have one.
Let's hope it works. Okay, alright, so our plan.
Oh, me. Okay.
You do- I keep sorry.
So what our plan is, what we're going to do for this 6-month trip, we are going to go straight west from Queensland, from Brisbane, across the border at Inaminka. We're going to head south down the Strzelecki track,
Which we've done before, which is not
Yep.
too bad. Bit gravelly, but
and then we're going to hit the peninsula above Adelaide sort of thing, and head west. And basically we're going across the Nullarbor. We're going to take a couple of days across the Nullarbor.
Yeah,
We're going
about
to
4 or 5.
start slowing down there.
Yep.
But that's, COVID related. If we hear any cases, we're just going to go for it across
Yep.
the border. And then we're going to slow down. And we're going to work our way clockwise. Yes, clockwise
yes, it is
around
clockwise.
around WA.
From south
Yep.
to north, yeah.
Yeah, following the coast, but we'll be in and out a bit. We're going to see
Mhm.
places inland like Wave Rock, Kalgoorlie Super Pit,
Tunnel Creek.
Tom Price, that's all the
nice.
inland. So basically following the coast, but then there's a few places we're going to go in and out and see. Up in the top of Northern Territory, Litchfield, Kakadu, all those iconic places you can't miss. Come down the guts of Northern Territory,
Yep.
show the kids
Kings
Uluru.
Canyon,
Yeah,
Devil's Marbles,
yep,
Cooper Pedy.
that's right. And then we're going to sort of go a bit more remote. Then we're going to go to Chambers Pillar, the geographic centre of Australia.
Yep.
Head south through Dalhousie. I don't know if we'll actually go into there because you need a special permit for that, like we do when you cross the desert. It's
'cause
quite expensive,
Yep.
which is a shame. And then do Lake Eyre, Cooper Pedy, and then down to the bottom peninsula of South Australia where you've got like, I forget the name of it.
Port Lincoln.
Port Lincoln National
Yep.
Park. That's it, good work.
Okay.
And then there's one right next to it.
Yeah.
And then from there, we'll just make our way home. We've got a week, 10 days to make our way home on our schedule. But, anything can change. But at least we've got that extra time. All right, so we think it's pretty important to plan the trip. A couple of reasons. One, there's a deadline when we have to be back. 2, we're on a budget. So we've got to plan our days out, what we can spend and where we can save. 3, don't want to miss things. So no point driving halfway around the country and missing something by like a really iconic thing you should see, missing it by 20 kilometres because you didn't know it was there. Hearing about it later, I'm thinking, oh, do I drive back 3 days to get to it? Or
Yeah.
so you don't want to miss something. And another reason is sometimes you don't want to see things. Some things suit other travellers. We prefer seeing the natural things. So yeah, some things we don't mind missing and other people want to see it. So
Yeah, so if you plan it out, it's easier to help you with your budget with a plan. It's easier to actually help you work out what kind of fuel you'll need, what kind of accessories you might need. If you go over, not saying that you can't do it without a plan, but you've got a bit more peace of mind that you've prepared your vehicle for exactly what you're going to be doing. You can get a bit anxious going to places that you haven't been before, so if you have planned it out, it takes a little bit of that anxiety away. Hearing what other people are saying and showing about different places can kind of prepare you for what you'll see and what the expectations of the area are as well. So definitely recommend planning it out, but also being flexible with that.
Yeah,
well.
you got to plan in flexibility, extra days, days where the weather might be bad. So when we looked into our plan for 2 years, I would go through the weather app, and I would see where we would be in that week, where we might be, and see what the weather conditions are like.
Yeah. Another reason. You go.
So another reason why it's good to plan your trip out is booking sites. So this year sounds like it's going to be a real busy season, a lot of travellers. I don't know if that's just a lot of hype I'm hearing on Facebook. Maybe every year's like this. Everyone sort of gets in a panic thinking, oh, it's going to be full. So booking sites. So we've only booked one site so far, and because of COVID restrictions, anything could change. But once we cross the border into WA, we know we can book a certain amount of sites in front. We know when school holidays is going to be for Northern Territory and WA.
And South Australia. Well, I mean,
South
we've written
Australia,
it all
yeah,
down.
but we're going to be up near Northern Territory when that holiday kicks in. So we know we can book those places in advance. And look, to run to a schedule as well, if you know, you don't want to get to the end of the trip and only seeing half of what you want to see. At the same time, you don't want to get to the end of the trip and have 6 weeks left.
Yeah.
So keeping a schedule, even though you might not plan it out, you know, thoroughly, as what we've done, you could, you know, it's good to have, you know where you have to be in Australia at a certain time of the year.
Yeah, and the thing is, if you've planned it out and you know how much extra time you have up your sleeve, if you go to an information centre on the way, just, I don't know, to check out or get water or something, they might have other stuff that you haven't been able to find. And if you've got that flexibility in your plan, you can say, okay, well, we'll spend a night over that way and go and see those 3 things that we had no idea because we're not locals. So it's pretty important to have a plan, be flexible so you can adapt it a little bit.
Yeah.
So we don't tend to book everything up like rigidly, so we've got a plan at first for our first spot that we have booked, which is Lucky Bay, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, but everything else isn't booked, and we'll book them on the road as we're going. And if you can't get in, then we'll find a free camp.
Free camps usually
Or,
good.
well, tough luck.
So with our experience, we know on a travel day, the maximum we can do, that'd be on the highway, would be like a 500 kilometre drive. And that'd be your whole day. You'd be just driving the whole day. So if that was a transit day, our maximum would be 500 kilometres. So planning it out, I can work out from between one campsite and another. If it's 500 kilometres, you know, that's it. We won't see anything else. If there's no campsites within that 500 kilometres or near that 500 kilometre end, you know, we can adjust our plan to suit that. So some of the sources we've used to plan this trip would be the HEMA Western Australia book. We've used the Camps book, Camps Australia.
Camps 4, Camps 8.
Camps
I don't know
8,
what they're
we've got
up
the
to
older
now.
one.
Yeah.
Which
is good because you can scribble all over it. Like if it's a book, like I love digital stuff, don't get me wrong, but the book you can actually physically see, okay, what the distance is and draw a line or map out your route. So it definitely helps.
Definitely a book helps to see the bigger picture. But then when you want to see close up, we got Wikicamps and the HEMA GPS, which is pretty good. A lot of hidden campsites in both of those. But Wikicamps, we've only had that the last couple of months, and that's been awesome. If you don't have it, check it out. They've got a month free, and then it's only $8. You pay $8 once, and that's it. You got it for life. It's fantastic. There's so many extra campsites in that.
How did we get inspired? We actually got a DVD from the library at one stage, and it was called Big Lap of Australia, and there's a family with 2 adults, 2 really young kind of kids, and they were travelling around. They were doing a big lap that included Tassie and everything as well. So when we saw this video, we thought, you know, that is something that we hadn't conceived of doing with kids. We'd long shot it for maybe later on, but we thought, I said to Adam, do you think we could do that? And Adam said, maybe.
Yeah, so Larissa said, you know, you'd really want to do something like this.
Yeah, I really did want to.
And I thought, well, we'd always thought about doing it, but I thought it would be later in life. So got the cogs ticking over and thinking, and we sort of come up to the decision that this is something we should do while the kids are young. So we sort of made a commitment we'd do it, and never turn back from that commitment. Yeah, I remember this video because up until that point we were just doing little trips. Oh, we did a few big trips, like Simpson and all that, Tassie, but. For us, I was always thinking later in life you do the big lap. You're retired, you've got plenty of money behind you, your house is paid off and things like that, no kids. So it was an eye-opener seeing this family with a soft-floor camper trailer.
I think their kids were like 3 and 4 or something.
Yeah, they hadn't had a lot of experience, and on their first dry run they put the 80 series Land Cruiser on the side. They seized the engine up, blew the engine. It was a disaster, and they were still doing the trip. They were still going to fix it up and do it. And I thought, well, these guys can do it. With the experience we've got, there's no reason we couldn't do it. So, yeah, here we are.
Thank you for them to putting that DVD together.
Another source of inspiration for us, and
Sparky's on the loose.
Yeah, and
the
like
overland
guidance
travellers,
and
trip in a
places.
van.
Yeah, Sparky's on the list. Overland Travellers, Foreman and
I don't know.
Willman and the Travellers. So we watch those episodes or their series, and we see somewhere we really want to see. We've got a little notebook, and we'll write down this is place. Is something that's up our alley. We really want to see it. So this is kind of like our travel Bible, I'd say.
At the moment, yeah.
It's full of all notes on places we want to go.
Yeah.
Phone numbers for if we go to book a caravan park or something like that. National park websites. I know it's all online, but to be able to just grab the book off the dash.
Yep. Because if we don't have Wi-Fi or service, we've got the SAT sleeve, so we've still got the number written down that we can still make contact using our SAT sleeve as well. And
it just saves so much time. If you've planned it all at home, when you've got the time.
It's exciting too.
It's exciting, it's fun, but it saves so much time on the road. We've done it before where we've got to a town and we thought, well, what's here? What can we see? Where can we camp? And we could lose an hour or two trying to find a tap for drinking water, find somewhere to camp, find a shop. You're running around, just you're backtracking and stuff. So to have it planned out and have a place written down, and you know what's there, what you might need by then.
Yeah, and if you don't like the place with the one that you've written down, then you go and spend that time looking around. But you've given it thought.
Yeah, another thing that has helped planning wise is I can see the kilometres and I know when the car needs a service. So, for example, near Exmouth, we'll need a service. So, I checked around. Yep, there's a Super Cheap and a Repco there, so we can get oil and filters. So I can do a service there. So, if we were say 1,000 kilometres out of town, heading away, or before it, you're sort of running the risk of overdoing your engine. So
it's an old engine.
Yeah, so it's good to have.
There's a lot of up.
To know where you can get your parts and stuff like that, and not overshoot it.
Yeah.
So just to give you a sort of an idea of what I've got in my book, our travel Bible.
Which, if you can understand it, I tried to type this up electronically.
Yeah, you won't be able to read this because I'm not very neat. But
sorry, the handwriting. He should be a doctor. But
So here I've got week 8. I've got the date that will be week 8. I've written down the days with a gap, where we'll be, what we can see in that area, phone numbers for any place we might want to stay, highlighted places that we have to book, and then campsites. So here's Cape Range. I've written down 6 different campsites in the national park, and I've looked into all the campsites and which one would suit our setup first and which one would be more up our sleeve. So we like quieter campsites, more remote, less people. And this one, Osprey Bay, it's got good snorkeling, kayaking. It's a smaller site. So that's our number 1. And then I've got a backup you know, I've written them all in order. So if that's booked, we'll go to the next one, then the next one down the list. But I know which one we want to stay at.
Yeah.
And, you know, we could get there and it could be a horrible campsite and it's the worst one. But we've, you know, done a bit of research, so hopefully it'll work.
Yeah, we'll just roll with it.
Let you know on the trip if
like,
it pays
yeah,
off.
we'll definitely let you know how we go. And it's
Afterward.
exciting doing all the research and looking at the videos and everything before your trip, because you're like, yep, really have to see that. If we're over there, we have to see this. Like,
yeah, and look, anything could happen. So we could have a breakdown or something. The whole trip could go out the window, or the schedule. But at least we know the places we want to see as well. So we can just put things back a week.
Yep.
But then, yeah, and we can pick something that, you know, we don't need to see. We can get away, miss that, and, you know, we really want to see that. So having a plan, you know, can certainly help in times like that.
Yep, definitely. Yeah.
So what's really helped me out with planning it out and, you know, seeing those spots that we really want to see and getting home on time. So we'll have a week at home before having to go back to work, and I'll have to find a job. I was struggling in my mind how to plan out 6 months, sorry, and how to figure out, you know, how everything fits into a schedule. And I said to Larissa, have you got a yearly planner? So I printed off a couple of copies, and then I just started writing and trying to, you know, had the weekend that we're leaving, the week we want to be at home, and it took a couple of attempts, but yeah, we've got it all figured out, which days where we'll be, and, you know, where we can fit extra time in, where we can have days of free camps, and, you know, things like that. So I'd recommend getting a yearly planner and just trying to pencil in where you think you might be.
Yeah, and be realistic with the travel time. I mean, we've got 2 kids, so probably in the first day or 2 of our trip, that's probably when we can get, while we're all fresh and from leaving home, that's when you can probably get a lot more kilometres done. But if they are in the car every day for too long, they're going to get fed up with it and it's going to become hell. So you need to take their needs into consideration when you're planning as well. So try to make sure that you're breaking it up as well and allowing breaks in your driving time, so that they're staying happy with it. When you start planning something out and you think
a big trip,
it
can be really overwhelming.
It can be a bit overwhelming, especially if you've got your own house and you've got your own other stuff to consider around before you even get on the trip.
Yeah, so, but just do it bit by bit like we did. So we just started watching some videos, jotting down places we like. We'd also try and figure out what time of the year they were there and what the climate was like. So if you see somewhere and it's freezing cold, we're like, oh, you know, what's it going to be like on our trip when we might be planning?
Yeah.
So just do it bit by bit. Give yourself plenty of time too. Once you start, like we did, we decided early we'd do it. We didn't commit to a date, just, you know, we just said we're going to do it within a certain amount of years. And then we started really looking at places and writing things down, because you forget. So write it down, places you like, places, you know, that really doesn't suit you, you can write that down.
And it's hard to believe it's actually here for us this year, because it's been like the last couple of years waiting, it's been going, oh, okay, we have the trip, we're going to do this and this and this, but now it's here. And this stuff Adam asked me to do about a year ago in his planning, because I've helped as well, but
still hasn't done it.
Like
we're leaving tomorrow.
I'm a crammer. I tend to get it done right at the end.
Another thing we looked into, not only the seasons, but things like fire season, cyclone season.
Yeah, which is from November to April, so you don't really want to be in the...
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep, sorry. I'm losing my track of you.
Fire season, cyclone season.
What else? Rain season, wet season, winds.
Monsoonal, tropical.
So you got to figure out in those places where you might be, and then that'll determine which way you go around Australia and what you're doing. Because if you're doing a full lap, it'll be different to a half lap. You don't want to be caught in the northern hemisphere, the northern part of Australia during the summer.
Yeah. It's too hot.
And probably you don't want to be right down the bottom end during winter. So, all right. So, thanks for watching the video. I hope we've given you some tips and hints, and hope we've just haven't rambled on. I won't know until I edit it.
I keep distracting Adam by rambling, apparently.
I lost track of thoughts.
He should have done this video alone. This is why a lot of the videos he does alone, because I'm...
It's just yeah. Where was I?
Anyway.
I've lost my track of...
Look, hey,
look, I hope
thanks for watching. We're really glad that you are coming with us on the adventure. Hopefully we've inspired you to start planning your own half lap, big lap, even a touring trip. It doesn't matter. Like, Australia's so beautiful, and we've got this opportunity right now to explore it.
Give us a thumbs up, like the video. It really helps to share our channel around. We're not trying to earn any money off it. We just do it because we love it. So there'll be no Patreon thing or anything like that. You get it all for free. If there is
any sponsors, no.
Any questions? I love helping people out. So any questions, shoot us a message. Hopefully we'll see you on the road. Yeah. And hope you watch us make a fool of ourselves.
No, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun. And in the end, I mean, if it's boring for you, we've made our own video, which is the whole reason we started.
Watch us argue in the car and throw this book out the window.
No.
All right, guys, we'll see you on the next video.
See ya.
Okay.
I don't know. You're crazy out there.
Hey, quiet in there.
So it's not...
I was going to say something, I forgot. What were we talking about?
Okay. Hey, Ruth.
Speak loud. Wait.
Take 435.
No, you missed the one on the front. 1,435. So
apparently including words is important when you're talking.
Words are important. Okay, so... I just had a good idea and I lost it because you throw it along. I didn't want to interrupt you.
Okay. Alright, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Alright, we will see you on the...
No.
Alright.
Closing video.
Right, okay. Bye.
No, you gotta say. Alright, thanks for watching. I hope you like and what was I gonna say? Closing video.
Closing video.
Closing. Okay.
Most of all, have fun with it.